Alrighty. Well, I got some crow to eat today, to an extent, and I'm not afraid to admit when I got to eat some crow. It happens. It happens to us all. Can't admit when you're wrong. Well, he ain't much of a person anyway. All right. So I don't mind eating crow at all. I fucked up. I was wrong. Partially wrong. Partially right. And I owe some people an apology. Oh, I owe, I could be an apology, and I owe Brian King an apology. They were right to an extent. Some states require a writ to be with a warrant, other states do not. And a writ can be used as a warrant. Did a lot of research on that last night. I did almost 2.5 hours worth of research on a writ and a warrant. So I put myself through a 2.5 hour class of learning. Just because we had people that were saying that writs can be warranted. Okay. Uh, I wanted to tell y'all I screwed up. I apologize to you, Brian. I don't have a problem eating. Hey, Sewer Dog, what's up, bud? Good to see you. I don't have a problem eating my crow, and I'm eating my crow right now, Brian. I owe you and I could be a apology on that because some states do and some states don't. So I apologize to you, Brian King, and apologize to I could be. Um, I fucked up. Yes, we are all learning. Uh, I do appreciate you, however, Brian King, bringing that up. It made me do the research. It made me do the 2 hours worth of 2.5 hours worth of research that I did do. And so it's very much appreciated. You and I could be, you know, I had to still calm down and I wasn't having my eyes opening. Got to thank A Balance to open my eyes to different possible venues to look at. Uh, he sort of calmed me down and gave me different avenues to look at. So, and then it opened my brain to saying, maybe I might need to listen to I Could Be, and maybe I should listen to Brian King and do some fucking research on this. So I did, and I apologize. And I don't mind. Yes, yes, and I was misreading what you were saying on that, also, Brian, and I apologize. I apologize wholeheartedly to you. I fuckered up. But I'm glad it still came down that way. I'm glad things happened the way it did yesterday. But it made me do a lot of research and learn a lot of different things about the writ and warrant thing. It is so blurred. It could have been. It might not have been. I cannot guarantee that it was too blurred. I couldn't clean it up. Um, Tried to clean it up. To me, it don't look like there's one there where the actual handwritten signatures should be. But I ain't gonna say it is or isn't now because the more I look at it, the more I'm seeing it's just blurred to the point you can't really tell. So there may have been, there may not have been. That's where I'm standing on that. So, but I'm still hoping to talk to that higher authority in the police department down there. I'm still hoping to talk to him, that other official, and that's supposed to be over all the patrols in the county police department there. So I'm hoping to get to talk to him. That will be a good thing. And because I still have a few complaints, like being lied to by one guy saying he was a phone operator and that he had his own little own little phone operator badge number. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with being told I have to do what they tell me I have to do when I know I'm in the right of doing what I was doing, and I don't appreciate that. He ain't my boss. He ain't my god. He ain't my nothing except for another fucking random person that I spoke to, cop or no cop. He's another random person I spoke to who has no right to tell me what I can and can't fucking do, especially when my tax money pays his damn salary. And don't think because you don't live in that state, your money, and that now this is proven, and anybody can look it up. Uh, they get government grants every freaking day almost to help pay their salaries, to help acquire different things so they don't have to take money out of the budget for their salaries, so on and so forth. So randomly, even if it's randomly, uh, uh, you're paying for their salary. Okay. Because even in the randomness of them, okay, we got a grant to go get this car over here, and we got a grant to get this, and we got a grant to get this. That saved them from having to take money out of their pay budget. Okay. So you're still, no matter how you look at it, anywhere in the United States paying their salary. And you too, Brian. And again, I apologize, bro. And you're right. I should not have looked at Wiki, Wiki didn't go all the way into the furthest detail it should be into the writ. Um, there's a lot more detail into that. Like I said, 2.5 hours worth of reading. So, so they so needless to say, I had that posed to me by them, and I had to clarify his way of thought and thinking about how I do pay his salary, and even if it's in a roundabout way. And needless to say, he didn't particularly care for me saying it that way, and he got all stupid and denied even them getting freaking government grants. And I know that's bullshit because I did research on them. Because of him saying that, I did research on them. They got over $2 million last year in Tarrant County alone to the police department and government grants. Okay, so that was the biggest fucking lie I ever heard. So that guy was on a roll with his lies the other night, all because he wanted to do the blue line. I'm protecting my blue line brethren. Okay, then blue line brethren. Well, I don't care for that. I don't care who he is. Like I said, he's another random human being. You don't need to lie to me. You don't need to freaking demand me to do anything when you ain't nothing but a little pissant in your freaking police department anyway. But on that note, that's what's another thing that's scary about their police department in Tarrant County is if their little pissants are doing that, What are their big boys doing? Okay. Yeah. Uh, you see, so Tarrant County is not a very good county, evidently, in Texas. And them saying, "Oh, you could talk to the Texas Rangers." Well, I did a lot of talking with the Texas Rangers back when they decided to arrest all the auditors uh, um, and Leon Valley. Okay, uh, Texas Rangers are nothing but freaking joke anymore today. They have no respect and nothing for any individual anymore. The Texas Rangers are are not what they used to be. 20 years ago, they were a hell of an agency and they would bend over backwards to help people. Today, you might as well, they're just another cop force. That's all they are. They're just another cop force. Um, there's nothing special about them except for they wear a different 10 star. That's it. So, um, and I would tell that to their faces. I told them that over the phone, by the way. I didn't have a problem telling them that over the phone. I did tell them that there, but I would go to their faces and tell them there's nothing special about you. You ain't nothing but another police force. That's it. So, uh, probably get me arrested, I'm sure, because they think they're better than everybody else, and they ain't. They treated me just like any other cop out there would have treated me. Just saying. Uh, but I did need to come back, and I will. I do eat crow when I need to eat crow, and go on. Hey Peachy, how are you? Hugs, hon. All right, sir, dog. You try to have a good rest of your day, bro. Yeah, but I still am very much into wanting to try to get something done with these cops trying to take people's children from them. I mean, not only did that happen live, where they actually did take the baby from the woman's arms. Uh, just the night before, they had up in Colorado, they had something similar happening, trying to take the children from a woman in Colorado. Um, and thank God for some of the auditors getting there and pretty much setting them straight, I guess, because they left. You know, they but they were trying to get a lady that was staying in a motel because her kids stayed in a motel. Uh, um, Trying to steal her children, her children from her. You see, and that's wrong. I mean, these kids have a roof over their head no matter what. And it's still a roof. They're staying clean. They're getting baths. They're doing everything they need to do as a parent. It don't matter where they're living. But these cops thought it. These cops, along with CPS, bullshit, thought it would be cool to try to take her kids, and it wasn't, because she's doing everything that a parent needs to do, um, which is wrong. That stuff needs to stop. All this stuff needs to stop when it comes to kids. I'm trying to stay calm as best I can, but I'm pissed off about it, guys. And there's a lot of different things out there that's happening that I've been seeing. And what they used to do, I'm gonna go back into history again, and I'm seeing history repeat itself here with this. Okay, what they used to do is take children from the Native Americans, take them to Tahlequah, Oklahoma. That was one of the big major places that they took them, and few other places, and quite a few other places throughout the United States to displace them from their native lands. Um, and uh, and then they would literally beat them when they would talk their native language or try to wear something from their native uh, uh, clothing, things like that. Okay, and turn them into the perfect little, as they called it, the perfect little Christian boy or girl. Okay, and and when you get the hell beat out of you, damn near daily, guess what? You succumb to it and you do it. Well, what are they doing with these children today? Are they indoctrinating them into becoming slaves uh, of the government? What? Because they sure in the hell ain't teaching them to be their own person. Hey, we're going to go. Pardon. Hold on. Partner cigarettes, please. Thank you. So, so you see, that's what I'm getting. Why I'm saying this stuff needs to stop. What are they doing with these children when they get them in these things? Hey, Constitutional Network News. Yes, you're right. That's exactly what it's called, the Stockholm Syndrome. Constitutional Network News. You're right. And and so I mean, when they're sitting there, and you heard the statistics I brought out the other night, the numbers: 60.1% are sold into sexual slavery. Um, of these children that are taken and put in foster homes. That uh, uh, 59% or better. No, it was 89. Excuse me, 89.2% have been either beaten or sexually abused by the foster parents. Okay. No, Constitutional Network News. I do not believe the public school system has the best interest in any child to be free. No, I do not. Uh, that's why several public schools in Arkansas uh, and Northwest Arkansas and South Central Missouri had to be shut down because the people there realized that and pulled their children out of the schools and started homeschooling them. And they literally had no children there to keep the doors open anymore. It was great. Uh, so they shut down several of the public schools. Uh, they teach their kids to be a free individual. We, again, the key word is there. Keywords: free and individual. Okay, that's what they're teaching their kids. In the school system that I've seen also today is they teach them, let's all do the same exact thing at the same exact time every day and be the perfect little robot slave. If you don't and you stand out against them, you either get detention, you get thrown out of school, you get in school suspension, away from all the other kids, whatever. They do not want you near these other kids that are taking the indoctrination and and to see what an free individual is. There's a lot of them actually that have been put in jail for pedophilia charges. Constitutional Network News. It's a lot of them are, but not all of them. Hell, I mean, look how long that Epstein got away with shit, and then look at some of the names that come out that were in his journal before they snuffed that whole story out. You see what I'm saying? I mean, one of them was one of the freaking royal family in England, a big dog in the royal family in England, I might add. Okay, uh, you see what I'm saying? Uh, so, and that was human trafficking, which was probably child trafficking in there because several people said he was trafficking them as a child. Um, I mean, so you see, that shows you people are getting away with this stuff, and they're in big, high profile areas. So, yeah, that happens. That's happening a lot. That's made the news a lot. The molestation of Christian children, um, things like that. It's amazing the stuff that's coming out here recently. You know, but it also amazed me how quick when a high profile individual was named in dealing with sexual trafficking, the man's never been dealt with. Ain't ain't got no charges against him or anything else, and they dropped the whole damn news story anywhere. It's gone. That's amazing, you know. And then all of a sudden, supposedly Epstein killed himself in his jail cell. Okay. Honestly, I don't believe Epstein's dead. If you want to know the truth, I think he's on an island somewhere. That's my personal opinion. Uh, but that's something else that we should be taking into consideration. How many of these individuals could have been in that little journal he had that are in high profile areas right now in our United States who don't care? You see what I'm saying? It's amazing. Uh, right here in the United States, I mean, they busted a ring that people had complained about for years, literally years, down in Florida not too long ago. But it took like 12 years for them to actually bust the place. Okay. And there was individuals complaining about it for 12 years. Okay. Why did it take so long? Did they forget to pay their payment to keep out of jail or what? Or did the right person or did the right individual actually complain about it? It just makes me wonder why it took 12 years for them to shut down a human trafficking ring in Florida. You know, oh yeah, I'm sure, Barbara. I'm sure there's that them people are still probably in Epstein's book. Some of them are still probably continuing to do that. I'm sure. Um, it, it's it's amazing. It's amazing, and like I said, he just got swept under a rug. It all ended when he died, supposedly in jail. You know, um, why? Why hasn't this all been brought back? Why didn't this go on? Why didn't uh, actions be taken? And all that. That that worries me. That's worrisome. Especially for our children today. Um, you know, because they were some high profile person, they get away with raping a child. You know, if they got money and they get away with raping a child. That's bullshit. You ask me. Um, and quite disgusting. You know, Yes, a lot of government officials were involved, Barbara. Throughout the world, I might add. It wasn't just here in the United States. There were several involved in England, Saudi Arabia, uh, and a couple of other major countries that were doing. He was trafficking these kids too, you know, and nothing done, nothing done, to them individuals. You know, it's amazing. Yeah. And now, now you get our government is putting out statistics of hey, pen and sword. Barbara, I honestly I never did see those. Um, to tell the truth, I never looked at those. I heard that there might be some out there. I don't I can't say as I've looked them up yet. So, um, how are you, the pen and the sword? Hope you're doing good, man. Uh, but these in but these individuals now, when you got probably more than likely Barbara. But now the hey Albert, what's up, man? Good to see you. Um, but we got they're saying that 89% of children in a foster care home though are either beaten or sexually abused by the foster parents themselves. Okay, that's that's well over 50%. Why are a lot of these individuals not even being taken care of? Why are they not out of the foster care business? Because that's what they're doing. A lot of them, they making it into a business. They're getting like 20 or 30 children under their belt, so they don't have to work. They can sit and be lazy on their asses, and and then have the child also do all the work for them while they're at the house. You know, um, and it's actually I can tell you how to catch a tiger shark. You can catch that thing by its tail. Hey, Kumanina Han, how are you? If anybody wants to come in, here's the link. Y'all are more than welcome to come on my panel. Y'all know that. Anybody? But no, I learned that in some states that a writ has to be accompanied with a warrant, and in some states it don't have to be a warrant; it can be a writ. I did learn that, and I called two people. I really went pretty hard on two individuals yesterday about it. Um, and I had to come back and apologize to him, Albert. And I will still apologize. And that was Brian King, and I could be. They were partially right. I'll give them that. Um, some states only require a writ. They don't require a warrant with the writ. Um, and then some states require a writ and a warrant to be together. So they were partially right. I was partially right, but I was partially wrong. So I had to come back and say, hey, I'm eating my crow today. Uh, and I have no problem coming in and saying I ate crow uh, because because we're here to learn, and I don't want to put out wrong information to anybody, you know. And and that that, especially on something like that, that's that much dear to my heart, you know. So if I fuck up, I'm going to tell you I fucked up, and I'm going to tell you where and how, you know, and let you realize, hey, you know, that that's a that's a screw up on my part, you know. I'm not above saying I'm wrong. So, and I was wrong. Well, Albert, according to the statistics that the government put out in 2016, which that's the newest ones I can get, 89.2% of these loving, giving foster parents are involved in either beating the child or having or sexually molesting the child. I think they're going a little overboard on the love if they're sexually molesting them, and they ain't showing no love, but they're beating the hell out of them. You know, and then there's other statistics showing that 61 or 60.1% or foster children are sold into sexual slavery. Okay, you know, uh, again, they're showing way too much love there, if you ask me. Going a little overboard with the love. Um, you know, so that's why I asked that question. You subscribe to me 20 times? You got 20 channels? I only got one, bud. I promise you. And the actual name is News Now Tammy Lynn Lynn. I just put that up there real quick, and it's Lynn, and it should be a big brown T on it as the thumbnail. So, oh, you're saying you got 20? Oh, I got you, Constitutional News Network. Okay, I got you. I misread that. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Um, I need some more. I need some more things. I agree, Albert. I agree. It is really messed up that they won't work on won't act on it. It's amazing. It's mind blowing and mind boggling. Um, and what's more that gets me is this also proves that news is propaganda. They're more worried about a tweeter, or whatever you call it, a tweet that the government that fucking goddamn POTUS put out, okay, than they are about them type of statistics and doing something about it and getting it on the news so it can become nationally known, at least nationally known, if not internationally recognized on international news. You know, they'd rather worry about uh what color dress the fucking Queen of England wore yesterday. Okay, which I happened to see today on the fucking uh, uh, ABC News. Okay, I don't give a fuck about England, to tell you the truth. We fought a war to get away from England. Why are we fighting now to get back in the pocket? I don't care about England. Okay, and I sure in the hell don't give a crap that the Queen of England wore a pink dress or a blue dress or a green dress or anything else. I don't give a crap. There's a hell of a lot more important things out there for them to do, and that's to get something like this story out. Why ain't they doing that? It's bullshit. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that. Constitutional Network News. It could have been your watch hours too, bud. Because I know a lot of people right now have the subs and they ain't going still ain't able to go live. And the reason is they did not have the watch hours. They don't have the watch hours right now. And as soon as they get the watch hours up, then they'll be able to go live. So that might be part of it. You know, um, ET entertainment entertainment news. Why the fuck do I care that if Sandra Bullock or is fucking whoever today? Because I know I don't. I don't care who she's fucking today. And I don't care who Brad Pitt's doing today and how many good people he's divorced and all that. I don't care about all that shit. Okay. Why don't they take that off there and start doing specials on freaking what's going on with the child trafficking and things like that, you know, or even human trafficking. I want to, I would do it even broader if I had the choice, and even broader, human trafficking. Okay. Which encompasses not just children, it don't just encompass girls, it encompasses males, and it encompasses all adults. Okay. Uh, I mean, why ain't we doing that? Why aren't they doing that? You know, freaking insane. Uh, uh, in a way, maybe you could look at it, Albert, but it sounds more like it sounds like we're becoming the proverbial uh bitch slapped redheaded stepchild to England now. I mean, that's that's the best way I could look at it. The proverbial redheaded stepchild that got beat all the time. That's what we're turning into England again. Um, you know, England's pretty much got their thumb back on us again. I thought we fought a fucking revolutionary war to make that quit happening. But again, it goes back to our school system. They don't teach that no more. I was talking to a friend of mine's kids and asked them about the Revolutionary War. They didn't even know what the fuck I was talking about. They didn't even know what a Revolutionary War was and how we fought to get our freedoms from England. They don't teach that in school no more. 1776. 1776 was the official start, but we were fighting with England long before that. And the Native Americans were fighting with England longer than that. So, uh, but the official start was 1776. Damn it, Albert, you're making me think. Y'all are making me think, damn it. I ain't used my brain in years. Now y'all making me use my brain in the last week. uh, the, the Boston Tea Party. Yep. We were we were tired of that shit. Now, let's see here. We fought for no taxation without representation. That the fish split between him and Patrick. Oh my God, that's just funny. Thank you. I needed to laugh, bud. That cracked me up, buddy. Uh, um, but today, what do we got? I know my representative don't represent me, so I'm being taxed without representation. I know my representative don't represent a lot of people. He represents himself to get money in his pocket quite well, but he don't represent me or a lot of the people. Okay. Hey, Phoenix Rising Media, what's up, bro? So are we truly back to being taxed without representation? I think we are, but we ain't supposed to be taxed without representation. Uh, I mean, there's many things that were fought for during the Revolutionary War for us, and it ain't happening anymore. It's okay, Peachy. I understand, hon. It's all good. I was battling a headache today too. I stayed up too late reading on stuff, and my eyes got strained from reading a computer screen for 2.5 hours, and it gave me a headache. I finally had to take some aspirin and shit for it, and went to sleep and still woke up with a slight headache. I'm finally getting it under control. So I understand, huh? uh, the I mean, there's a lot of things that I've been seeing lately that just ain't adding up to what the Revolutionary War was fought for, and I'm seeing a lot of things not adding up in our freaking way the news is presented or anything else. It's just mind-boggling to me to know that there's to see them statistics, and if the government put them out, they're also on the low side. Okay, uh, which actually it amazed me that they put out a statistic of um, 80.2% of children are molested in foster care by the foster care parents themselves. Okay, that 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 surprised me they even put that out. Okay, but what is even more surprising is why is nothing being done about it? You know, yep, that's a big drop in that barometric pressure. That will give you a headache quick. You're right, Peachy. Yes, Barbara. Actually, they throw away our freedoms, not theirs. Our freedoms to pocket our money. They they go into it knowing that they're going to be a rich son of a bitch or a rich bitch when they come out. They're willing to, yes, they're willing to give up their freedom for it, but they're also willing to throw away our freedoms as well to pocket our money. So it's insane. The world today we live in is insane. And the more I get into research and things like that, the more I really realize uh, the saying that Eric Grant has, shit is fucked up and stuff. It's a very, very, very true statement. So we had ice all over the trees today, Peachy. Literally, and it's still out there. It hasn't really melted off much. The roads are clear now, but the trees are still covered in ice from freezing rain. I'd rather see snow than I would freezing rain. Freezing rain sucks. Thank you, Albert. Thank you. A lot of people, a lot of people, I never had that actual compliment. Oh yeah, the barometric pressure, because it is a actual pressure that is on your body as well as anywhere else. It can affect you in many ways. Um, I know I get headaches a lot from a big change in barometric pressure. I can tell you long before the news will tell you that there's a storm coming because the subtleties of the barometric pressure, you know, and tell you it's going to be a bad one or it's going to be a light one, you know. Um, and I don't know. I don't have to look at no numbers on a barometer to know it. My head tells me it. And that may also be that may also be another reason why my headache was so bad uh, uh, today too. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, there's still some ice out there now. It's about melted off though, thank God. But if it keeps doing what it's doing, it's because temperature's supposed to drop down to 33 or 32, 31, something like that again tonight. We're going to see ice again everywhere. There ain't much you can do with if your barometric pressure is bothering you. There's not much you can do. Um, just live with it and go. At times, yes. Albert, yes. The last time I was in the going up in some pretty high mountains, I went up to. I'll tell you, I went up to Mount Eagle, which is right there on the Georgia Tennessee line. When I got up to that top of that mountain, I had a splitting fucking headache, and yes, I had to go and get me. I had to go get a couple sinus pills, and I had to go get a freaking some Excedrin to make that headache go away. And it was still only I only knocked it down to a very dull, minimal headache. So yes, well, Mount Eagle is a pretty tall mountain. There on the Georgia Tennessee line. It's a pretty tall mountain. I forget its actual elevation, but when you go from Florida, which has no elevation whatsoever, to well over 10,000 feet. That's see, even it took me. I had headaches for almost 2 weeks when I got here to Pennsylvania from Florida because I'm at such a difference in altitude. It took 2 weeks for my body to adjust to the altitude change. So, and I still, I believe, am having problems because it seems like I'm more. It's more of a problem with the weather changes with my head now. Well, the elevation adds pressure or removes pressure on you too, Barbara. The lower you go, lower you go, the thicker the air, so you got more pressure on you. The higher you go, the less pressure you have on you. But when your head's not used to that and it's used to having the pressure, it's like your head is like it just wants to explode on you. So, yeah, the higher you go, the thinner the air, the less pressure you have on you. Yes, yes, Albert. Well, Albert, I can tell you a way to help that. If you're having problems when you get into a higher altitude, chew gum. It pops your ears, and what it is that's that pressure releasing off your ears. You got to pop your ears, and chewing gum helps pop your ears. Well, with the traveling I've done in my lifetime, Barbara, that's how I learned all that. When I was younger, from the time I was 15 to the time I was 18, I for 3 years I traveled with my dad all over the eastern seaboard. Uh, any state east of the Mississippi except for Maine and Vermont, I've been to. Yeah, clenching the jaw muscles does help, but it seems like the gum seems to do better. And plus, you know, if you got morning breath, a piece of Wrigley spearmint gum helps too. So you're killing two birds with one stone. Yeah, I did lots of traveling when I was younger. So yes. Okay, Scar, you be safe out there driving, huh? We'll talk to you in a little while. The well, if you notice, that's one thing. I had a buddy. He was in the Air Force, and one of the things that they keep, one of the things they keep in that pocket, right there where their name tag is a pack of gum, just for that high altitude change. She has to drive. It's that time for her, I think, to start driving a school bus. Jack, quit barking at the next door neighbor's dog. Hey, dog he looking out the window barking at the next door neighbor's dog. But yep, see Albert, told you it's time to pick up the kids in the bus. uh, but yeah, yeah, my the, that's also part of the reason how I learned about using the chewing gum is having that friend that was in the Air Force who who flew fighter jets. It was he told me straight up. Every one of us carry a pack of gum just for that high altitude change, that swift high altitude change. So and It seems to work a lot better for me than clenching my jaw muscles to make my ears pop. Yeah, let's see. Got a new message to the phone. Ah, all right. A lot of them subscription things are coming in. Oh, okay, cool. Yes, they do use pressure suits for that, but it still affects their ears. They say so. They pop their ears by chewing gum. But yes, they do use pressurized suits for a lot of them. Um, a lot of the very high altitudes, they really do. As he used to tell me, chewing gum is my friend. That's what he used to say all the time. Chewing gum is my friend. I don't do New Year's resolutions because I tried that once and I never fucking I failed on every one of them. So fuck that. uh, because in that year, if I would have passed my New Year's resolutions, I would look like a cross between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Rambo. Yeah. And unfortunately, I don't look like either. Yep, me too, Barbara. Me too. There's no need to even for me to try it. Now, I do say one thing about New Year's. New Year's is a good time to get drunk and stay at home while you're doing it. Enjoy the friendship of enjoy friendships and the company of good people while you're doing it, and just have a good old time. And I give that. Them are good. Them are good resolutions, bud. Uh, 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 to help out more people. Hell yeah, that's a good one. Pay back to nature and society. Them are good ones. Um, but helping out the people goes back to helping out the society. You know, nature. I tell you what we need is trees and a lot more of them. I'd suggest trying to find a way to plant trees. You're going to help out nature. They're burning the South American rainforest at rates that are unfathomable, and that is that was one of our biggest uh, filters in the world to get carbon monoxide out of the world. So yes, the trees today are because there's not enough of them to get the carbon monoxide out of the air, and they're getting too much in them. Plus all the unnaturally sprayed pesticides. Um, the you got someone that's out there crop dusting, let's take crop dusting alone. You got someone out there that's crop dusting to get rid of weeds in a cornfield. If you look at the trees around that cornfield, a lot of them damn trees are either dead or dying because the wind picks that stuff up and hits it with them. Wow, that's a lot of trees. I'm glad. Awesome, awesome. I I I have taken my time to get. That's good. That's good. Well, hey, there's something positive about YouTube actually said. Wow. uh, oh, sweet. They'll probably make their 20 million by the end of the year. They keep going. That's awesome. But yes, too much chemicals flying around. Now, if you're seeing your now let's look at that at another aspect too. If you're seeing your environment die, you can find the, okay, cool. Okay. Thank you, Albert. Um, but if you're seeing your environment, let's take the trees alone, die, they're pretty hardy. It takes a lot to kill a tree. You're seeing them die, you might want to think about changing some practices. But we have proven another thing throughout history that we don't change practices until it's devastating to us. And proof in point is the Dust Bowl days. Um, yeah, birds are getting. Look at the butterflies. Butterflies, they ain't around like they used to be. You don't see honeybees like you used to. You know, um, I mean, all these things. Uh, but when you got something that's pretty damn hardy dying, maybe it's time to change. But you take the Dust Bowl for example. It took us till there was dust, literally, from Oklahoma and Kansas flying all the way to New York in the air for us to change the practices of farming. You know, I mean, and so until it's totally devastating and affects billions of mankind, they don't care. But the thing is, you can't tell me that when you're watching your environment die around you, the chemicals in the air are not hurting you. If it's killing your environment, it's going to harm you. You know, I mean, so just saying. Yeah, yeah, Barbara. Actually, I remember that before. I remember that up to about the mid '80s, late '80s. I used to be able to do that, grab earthworms right off the sidewalk or off the driveway, whatever. And now you can't you can't do that. You're right. Uh, yeah, it's really concerning to me. That type of stuff is concerning to me, you know, too. So Native Americans had it going on, I think, back in the day, but no one would ever want to live back the way they did back in those days. And even today, some still do out on the reservations in South Florida. and all that, they still live in what they call a Chukchi, which means house in Muskogee, um, or in Miccosukee also. The Miccosukee down there still live in Chukchis, which are made straight from palm trees and cypress trees. They don't kill the cypress trees. They don't kill the palm trees either. The palm trees they use the leaves off of them and don't kill the palm. They just use the leaves off the palm to make the thatching of the roof. Um, and don't kill. And they take all the stuff they need without killing off trees to build the framework of the key. It's amazing to see what they do down there. It really is. Um, and But society as a whole today, shit, they are maybe a 0.001% that do that. and and but society as a whole today, if they ain't got a house where it kills how many ever trees to build that house, uh, then you got all these toxic chemicals called shingles. Uh, a shingle is a toxic chemical, is what it is, that you put on your roof to keep keep weather out. Tar is another toxic chemical that people put on the roof. Uh, I mean, shit like that. Yeah, unless they're doing that today, they ain't happy. So I have that electricity too, or you ain't happy. You know, you got to remember, electricity is a pretty new thing. For thousands of years, people didn't have electricity. Uh, they used candle lanterns and things like that, you know, to light their way, or a fire to light their way, whatever, or just went to bed when it was dark. Yeah, it, I remember an old farmer guy I knew when I was a kid. He always said he went to sleep with when the sun went to sleep, and he always woke up when the sun woke up. So that's how he put it to me. I just uh, I don't understand. I know I'm going to probably make some phone calls. And yeah, no cell phones, no computers, no whatever without electricity. Right. Have you, Barbara, just a question, have you ever like gone out in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico where there's no lights for like almost 80, 90 miles from you, or anywhere like that? Do you know how beautiful it is to be out there to see that? It is freaking gorgeous. The night sky that you see while you're on land where there's lights around you all over ain't nothing. It's shit compared to being out there. It's like when the moon's coming up, you know. Uh, oh man, I got to do that several times when I lived down in Florida. It's like when the moon's coming up and it looks huge out there. I mean, huge, and it looks like you could just reach out there and grab it and just pull yourself on it and start walking on it. It looks so close, and it's so freaking beautiful. Oh my god! And to watch it on a TV screen or whatever, it don't do it justice. Unfortunately, if you actually experience it, it's an experience in your life that you'll never ever forget. It was like when I was up in Wisconsin. I worked up in Wisconsin late in the year with my dad, and I'm sorry about that, Albert. Man, honestly, you impress me, Albert. You really do. You're one of the most impressive people I ever known. Um, but to see the things that I've seen in my lifetime, and if I wasn't able to see it and have it in my memory of seeing it, oh my God, I especially like if I lost my sight now, I wouldn't know how I'd act, you know. So to me, you're one of the most impressive people I've met, Albert, because you got a good outlook on life. You got the greatest outlook on life. You ain't let the blindness slow you down at all. You do a lot of work on the computers, things like that. You're fucking awesome, dude. You really are. And I hope you keep your head high and keep on going, man, because like I said, you're one of the most awesome people I've ever met. Yes, he is exceptional. Very exceptional. But if Peachy's in here, to let you know, Peachy, I have calmed down a lot. This pack I actually opened up last night, and I still have that many. So I have calmed down on my smoking and calmed down myself. So, so yeah, don't have to worry about me and my smoking right now. But yeah, she was telling me she was worried about me and my smoking because I it was when that shit first went down with me watching that video and things like that. I I had to I was chain smoking. I probably went I probably went through three packs in about I probably went through three packs in about a day. It was bad. I was chain smoking bad. And so needless to say, I'm back to my normal smoking. I'm back to my normal smoking. Yes, that was very rough. Very rough. And now I'm looking at I have to keep my calm. I have to keep my cool. Uh if I want to progress in this and hopefully make something happen. Um, and hopefully get things done. And maybe make positive a bad turn into a positive. You know, that's what I'm hoping. Hoping we can do that. I'm working on that right now. That's why I've been doing a lot of studying, a lot of looking into things like that. It's like being back in fucking school, guys. I'm telling you, it sucks. But at least I got a computer I could look it up on. It wasn't like back when we were going doing shit with uh, uh, George Bush Sr. We had to go through files and we had to go through this and we had to go through that and we had to get it was oh my god, get this book, get that book, hours and hours of fucking reading and then trying to find what you need to read. I mean, it took hours and hours of time. Oh my god. Yeah. Well, Albert, I knew a guy. He died at 92 years old. Okay. He started smoking Lucky Strike cigarettes at the time he was 9. He was 9 years old. Okay. He died at 92. Do you know what the doctor said about it? He might have lived to be a couple years older if he wasn't a smoke. He might have lived a couple years older if he didn't smoke. That guy, that guy was one of the happiest men I ever knew. He up to the time he turned 91, he was out on his farm, milking his cows, feeding his cows, uh, took care of people's horses for them. He had a boarding for horses. Uh, uh, I mean, all the way up till he was 91. And then he broke his hip. He slipped and fell and broke his hip, and he had to quit doing all that. I think that's personally what killed him because he couldn't do his work that he was so proud and always happy to do. So, yeah, I agree. It is, Um, and one of the things I found out is you got to keep yourself active. I went for almost 2 years without being very active. I was active, but not like I used to be. I started going back to being as active as I used to be, and I started coughing junk out of my lungs and getting it out of my lungs. Okay. The more active you get, the more that shit comes out. You know, no, it's the truth, Albert. It's the truth. Is that 92-year-old man when he died? Like I said, I think what killed him was he could not get out there and work his farm. Honestly, I think that's what killed him because up to him being 91, he worked that farm every day. He was a happy person. He loved working that farm and he smoked every day. He smoked about a pack to a pack and a half of cigarettes a day all his life. So, just saying, I know a lot of Native Americans that smoke and they stay active all day and keep going and doing what they need to do and keep active and keep moving and keep doing what they doing physical work. And hell, you can't even tell they smoke unless you watch them smoke. So, and a lot of Native American people will work a lot of people under the table. So that's how I had such. That's how I got such a good work ethic, and I became a. In 3 days of working for Amazon, I was their top dog in inbound shipping. Uh, I got to the point I was doing so much that they told me I had to slow down. Literally, my average was 500 pieces an hour from the time I start from the third day on. Hey, news now across America, bud. I'd be having a better day if I could get. I, I hate starting the process of trying to get a change to be made. The the start of it is hard, but once you get the ball rolling, it's great. A lot of times it goes pretty quick. You're going to run into snags here and there, of course, but you got to get the ball rolling. And sometimes it's hard to get that ball rolling. And you know, one of the things I read while I was looking up all this stuff for child cases and things like that, a lawyer said, I was reading a statement from a lawyer who's been dealing with child services. He's fought against them to get the children back in the home. He's been doing this now for 15 and a half years. Okay. He said it used to be the child services to come to your house and they needed to they wanted to not they did not think you were guilty. And unless you gave them reason you were guilty, they did very little. He says nowadays, when a child service agent comes to your house, you are considered guilty until proven innocent. Now, that goes against their constitution also. How can any government agency be able to say you're guilty until you prove yourself innocent? And that's exactly what they did to DSS uh, with that deal over there. Guilty until proven innocent. We're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. That's some fucking fucked up shit. Yeah. Uh, you know, we need to that shit needs to change with a quickness. You know, is the way I look at it. That's myself personally. That's another thing I'm going because I even got I'm getting into I sent that particular lawyer an email, and hopefully he'll answer me back. I'm hoping he answers me back because I had several questions to ask him and things like that. So hopefully he'll at least take the time to answer my questions, and maybe I could get talk with him and see about maybe making some changes to where they can't be coming to your house and saying you're guilty now, prove yourself innocent. And oh, by the way, because we know you're guilty and you have to prove you're innocent for taking your child. Okay, that shit needs to fucking stop. And hopefully you'll give me some ways and means and things like that to possibly be able to work on to make something like that happen to where it won't to where it'll stop. You know, that was a that was a sad statement that I read that they get away with that. Yeah, and I didn't like it. I didn't like reading that, and that's straight from a lawyer. He's been working with them for right about 15 years. He said in his statements and all. So hopefully he'll get back in touch with me. Hopefully my questions will be answered, and maybe we can start exacting a change. You know, at least a change. Uh, on different things. And maybe, hopefully, through this platform, I'll be able to get a lot of awareness out there about what's going on, because we need to change this. We really do. Um, it's not right. And it's actually quite upsetting to tell the truth. I am going to mute my mic for a few seconds because I need to make a phone call right quick to Jen. And now they, they went out to go get some stuff. So I will be right back to talk to y'all some more. Yeah, damn phone ain't going through. The weather's got it messed up. So we'll try a different way. We'll go contact. And I'll do it. There we go. Now maybe they'll pick up what I need them to pick up. Barbara, are you leaving me, hon? If you're leaving, you try to have a good day. So I really, the biggest thing is I wanted to apologize to Brian King, and I wanted to apologize to I Could Be. If they accept Brian didn't have a problem with it. Hopefully could be will take my apology. I was really rough on I Could Be. And I was being very dickish to I Could Be, and I shouldn't have been that dickish to him. He was making a very valid point, and I was in the wrong. So hopefully he takes my apology. If not, well, I tried. That's all I can say. So, but I'm going to probably go ahead and pop on out of here, you guys. You try to have a good day, um, and all. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to try to take me a nap. Like I said, I didn't get to sleep until probably 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I only got an hour of sleep. So I'm tired. Y'all try to have a great day, and thank you for being in the chat. I hope to talk to y'all soon. And all I can say is try to enjoy life the best you can enjoy life. And I'm out of here, guys.